Hey, welcome to this episode of Scrapyard Choppers. I'm Ronnie Danger. This is my Brent figure 8 car. We're going to be working on that today. We got to get it fixed. There's a race at the end of the week. Let me show you how bad this car is bent. Just to give you an idea. That should be out farther than this. Yeah, it's really bent. Let me bring it in here. It is touching the wheel. This bar is supposed to be like 2 inches that way. So I'm gonna cut it out. By cut it out, I mean basically cut here to here, down to here, down to there, and cut everything out and redo it. Now I went to the store to go get grinding discs and all I got was one because that's all they had. Awesome. So I have this and this. I'm gonna make it work. So here's the steel I got for the fix the car. We got 1/4 inch, which is thicker than what I normally use. An 1/8 inch. Got 12 foot of that, 10 foot of this. Costs way too much money. Like way too much money. Like he told me the bill and I about died. Let me throw you on the time lapse, play some Bat Hearst for you, and let's get to cutting.
I am alone in this world. I walk among the dead. I wander many miles, no place to lay my head. Every friend betrayed me, perhaps it's just as well. A harlot tried my face and cried before I went to hell. I see a face, your lips, your eyes, you kiss me goodbye.
Well, got that piece off. Now let's see how bad the damage really is. Yeah, it's bad. That's broken, that's broken. This isn't broken, but it's got this bent. That's broken back there. Whole lot of broken. See, when I built this car, I really wanted to put a bar here, 2 bars here, and a bar back here. Well, I ran out of steel when I got to the back of this car. So this is what we got. The plan was this winter to take the time and go over this and redo it. So now what I'm going to do instead of over the winter is 4 days. And all I got left is that much for grinding disc for tonight. So I'm going to see if I could get this bar cut out, because I think after this bar is cut out, this whole thing's just going to fall off. Fixed. So I got this piece out that's supposed to be straight. That's not. This piece, I need a better grinder. Or not, I mean grinding disc, because there's another piece behind this piece and it's still attached. And then that'll be out of the way. And then we start fresh. Let's do some envisioning. So I'm gonna run a bar out here so it's level with this bar. because there's a bar that goes straight down the car. And then I'm going to run a bar on the outside of this bar to this one. And then we're going to get one here, maybe one here, and then one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's how it's going to go. I might actually be able to get one out of this. It's kind of bent here. I don't know. Gonna try to save that one. I'm just gonna try to reuse some. I'm just gonna try to reuse what I can because I only got 12 feet of the 3/16. The 3/16 is basically gonna be the gusset for the 1/4 inch. So hopefully it doesn't bend. This car lasted 6 years, just how you see it. Just how I cut that off. 6 years. I had one repair in this area, but other than that, it's been fine. So I know it's strong, or it was strong. It just takes a while to get it beat in, and once it finally goes, it really goes. So I'm also a better welder than I was then too. So yeah, I need a grinding disc to finish this up. So I'll be back at it tomorrow, which for me will be like 12 hours. For you to be like meow. So I got everything cut out that needs to be cut out, so it's ready to finally go back together. Let me show you what I got going on. So I had to cut this out because it's all bent. This was a 1/4 inch. So I went out and found that tube right there. So I got to cut that down, weld that back on. And first thing that I need to do is make this straight bar right here. Connect back to here. So I got to make a spacer 2.5 inches. And then make this. I got to remeasure it. And then I'm using this stuff. 1/4 inch. So after I measure it, I'm going to mark it here. And then on the other side, I'm going to mark it about 4 inches back. And then cut it at an angle. So I got the angle I need. And then I'll have to weld a piece of plate back on that before I put the other plate back on it. Just so it's nice and thick and doesn't tear. And yeah, this is what I'm using to cut everything because I don't have a chop saw anymore. So let's get to it. First up, we'll do some measuring. So I got this all marked. There's 41 inches right there, or 41.5. And then I made this mark 4 inches back. Connect down this side. So I'll cut out each side at a time so it's nice and even. And there we go. And then the other side will already be beveled. So I'll just go from the long side and measure 41.5 again if that side is 41.5. Or even if I get to that side, because this is a lot of work and I'm running out of time. So yeah, I'm gonna get to cutting. Hopefully, yeah, I have enough discs. Yeah, I went to Lowe's to buy grinding discs or cutoff wheels, and they didn't have very many of them either. So I don't know what's going on. If there's a wheel shortage, China sabotaging me, who knows? I always use these ones. I usually use the 6-inch ones. They last a really long time. They cut through a lot of stuff. Minimum explosions, which is always good. So yeah, let's get to cutting.
As you drive in, one more nail.
Yeah! It's alright, now that this is cut, I kind of want to get in here and see where we're at. So what I'm looking at, because this bar is bent in, how big of a gap do I really want back there? And then this bar is in line with this bar, but if I make it 2 inches, get too big a gap up there. So I think what I'm gonna do is make about 2.5 inches so it'll kick out a little farther, and then weld that piece on, and then we'll put this other bar on. I'll have a gap to fill. But what I might be able to do, because there's some weld here I can grind down, if I can beat this down a little bit right there, then it'll let this fit up nicer to it, and I won't have such a big gap to fill. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna beat this down, make this 2.5. So I'm gonna do that off camera. I'll fire back up, show you some welding, and the first bar will be on. You know what's funny? I don't know, because I don't have one of those fancy new cameras, what it looks like when I'm talking to you guys. So I'm always like this, hoping I'm in frame. because I'm a big dude. So, hopefully you can see everything. Doing the best I can by myself. Yeah, let's get it done.
Sharpen up your knives, can't look me in the eye. Money changes hands as you roll another die. You come to me to help you when you are in need. Your thorns, they penetrate me, then you watch me bleed. I see your face, your lips, your eyes. You kiss me goodbye as you drive in. One more, one more, one more, one more nail.
Well, update time. I went home and got dinner, so that's full. Good stuff. And also, been doing a bunch of welding. We got this bar in. That welded in there. That there. Welded up in there. Started welding this back together. I'm going to have to make a strip to go over that, but I'm going to wait till I get the rest of the steel on. Also got this on the bottom here. That is way thicker than what was there before. So hopefully that doesn't bend. And yeah, that's weld over weld over weld, because this is some really thick stuff and my welder is not rated to weld this. But hopefully that holds. Also, welded the bottom of everything and it turned out pretty good. In case you haven't been watching for very long, I have a lot of trouble welding upside down. And this is probably the best I've ever done. I'm going to make a bar to go from there to there. Now, what I've always done, and guarantee this isn't the right way, let me find a tape measure. I'm going to go to the back of this to this. Yeah, let me get a better angle. To measure this out, I'm going to go from there to here, which is about 10, all the way across. Now, the problem is, it's on an angle like this too. I'm just being exaggerated for the camera, but it's got to go in like this and down like this. So I'm going to cut it at 11. That way I got plenty of extra meat to trim out where I need to make it fit and how I need to make it fit. Alright, so I got my piece cut. What I'm going to do is hold it up where I want it. And we're going to take our marker, mark the angles that need to be cut. So now we got it marked. So I'm going to come in with the speed square and I'll transfer it around so I know where to cut. Let me grab the speed square and show you. So I got my mark here. Lay my speed square up, line it up with it. And now it's transferred. Let's go like this. So now I got a mark there. Now I just gotta connect the dots. There we go. We're connected on that one. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other one. And then I'm gonna cut on these lines. Now I'm only doing one angle. This angle pretty much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it so it actually fits on this angle. You know, angle this way. Now there is going to be a little bit of a gap, I'm sure. But a gap is not a big deal. As a matter of fact, it allows you to get more weld in between this steel and let's say this steel, you just gotta maybe do a pass. As long as it ain't like I need to put a bolt in a gap, because then it's bad. But a little tiny gap, not gonna hurt you, especially working with some stuff this thick. So if anything, it'll just help it weld in more area. So mark this. I'm gonna cut it with the grinder, put it back up in there, and then we'll kind of see where we're gonna go from there. All right, trim number 1. Oh, it's so close. Alright, I gotta take more off of right here. It's alright. After cutting this out some more, it finally fits. My GoPro died, so I couldn't really show you all the trimming. Yep, fits good enough for this thing. So I did bevel all my edges. I mean, I could spend a bunch more time and get this a lot closer, but I'm not too worried about it. It's not bad at all right now. So let's get it tacked in. Cool, it's looking good all the way around. Now I'm just gonna weld it. I'll show you when it's done. All right, I got more updates. So, got everything welded. I'm putting big old fat welds on it. Just to really make sure this doesn't go nowhere. Of course, that's all welded up there. But this bar is in. It's a good start. I gotta make a bar to go from there to there, which is gonna be a pain in the ass because it's pretty much gotta end here. So when I sheet it, it goes over top of it. And we got one there, and one there. This only had one bar right about here before because I ran out of steel. Yeah, well, let me show you what I'm starting on tomorrow. First thing, I got this thick piece of steel right here. It's going to go inside of here as a gusset. This is going to be, I don't want it to bend again, basically. Because out of everything in the car, this gets hit the most. So I want it to be strong. Everything bends eventually. But that in there is going to work great. So that's it for me tonight. I'll be back at it tomorrow. I'm going to show you this side. Get it all done. And then hopefully get to the other side. I'm running out of time. As always, it is Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm going to work on it when I can. I got to get my mom's roof done. So that leaves me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning to get this done and fix the trailer because the wheel almost came off the trailer because it ate the bearings. Of course, it ate the bearing and everything, so I have to cut it off, put a new spindle on, put new bearings on. Yeah, I might borrow a trailer. We'll see what happens. So, and then it was tomorrow. Back it's the next day. Well, I gotta make this bar. This is gonna be the hardest bar. Because not only does it have to lean this way, like this, but it has to lean this way, like this. So I cut myself out some 2-inch strips, and I'm just gonna set them in here and cut them to where I need it. And honestly, I made this really dang close to what length it's gotta be, but I made it a little short, so I'm just gonna extend it with some tape. I brought my scissors out here and I don't know where I put them. So, made a little extension. And now I just need to trim it to fit. Find my scissors. It seems a little weird to be using paper to do a template for square, but with how expensive steel is, I need to only be buying one chunk. All I'm doing is eyeballing. Pretty much what I always do with the figure 8 car. It doesn't have to be perfect. Well, that's the angle I need right there. So now, where's my tape? Where's behind me? That's piece number 1. I basically have to build the square out of paper. And then I'll lay it on my piece of steel, transfer the lines. I'll go from there, I guess. There we go, mock-up number 1. Now we're going to take our next piece of square. And this is where things are going to get a little more difficult. Let me move you over here. Hopefully you can see. Let's see. Let's see. So I can kind of see where I'm going to crease it with my dirty finger right here. Leave this mark. So there's mark number 1. See that I made that with my dirty hand. Might need a marker for this next one. Oh no, I can see it. There's my dirty mark. Perfect. Let's see here. Gotta trim a little bit more off. Gonna have to do left-handed. Okay, a little trim action. Pretty doggone close. Okay, this side's done. So let's tape it in. As you can see, I'm building a piece of square basically. I'm gonna say that this needs another trim. I mean, making the templates a little bit oversized, I can always trim the steel down. It's better than making them undersized, that's for sure. Okay. Come on, let's get together here. Needs a little more trimmage. Okay, now let's do the next one. Trim till it fits. Alright, that's pretty damn good. So, I'm going to just unfold my template here. Put it together like this. Lay it over steel, transfer the marks. I'll show you that part. Alright, gonna lay this on there. Need my tape. Honestly, this is the hardest bar. So after this is done, and I also make the piece that's going in that, fill in that gap, it should go pretty easy. Knock on wood, of course. Cool. And then what I do is I take my speed square, I want a mark on the back after I mark these. It ain't perfect, I'll have to do a little bit of guessing here, but can always trim it to fit later. I'll find my marker, mark it, get to cutting. So after a bunch of trimming, it fits pretty good. I mean, I got a little bit of a gap right in that area, but not bad. That's pretty good. Gonna clean up this up here. So yeah, hardest part's gonna be welding back here. I'll have to figure that out, but I'll get there. Time to weld. I don't know. Show you the finished product.
I see your face, your lips, your eyes. You kiss me goodbye as you drive in. One more, one more, one more, one more nail.
So alright, let's talk about where we're at. We got 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch plate to a 3/16 bar that's in here. Hopefully this won't go anywhere anytime soon. Everything eventually bends. Hopefully that's going to be till I sell the car because I'm retiring from figure eight racing. That's the goal. Got this all welded up here. So now I got to make the bars that go straight up and down. This stuff's all welded. It's time to make our imaginary steel bar. Not imaginary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this in here. Kind of hold this in the general area where it's got to go. Make a pattern. Cut it. Start there. Same thing down here, just gonna bend it. And where it needs to go. It's right on about perfect. But yeah. So the nice thing doing this, it doesn't have to have a bunch of angles. So I only got to make this one template. Both sides of the steel. Slice, slice, weld in, and then we're gonna have to do some trimming for down here, but we'll start there and then should be able to work this pattern all the way across because it kind of shrinks a little bit as it goes. And this bar is bent. Sorry, after some trimming, I got this fitting really good. I'm gonna weld it on the inside right there. So this will work great. So I'll get it welded. Make 2 more. And then it's done. Well, would you look at that? That's right. Would you look at that? It's done. I got welds over welds, over welds, over welds. So some of it ain't the best looking, but I want it thick. So, good enough for a derby car. Yeah, that's done. Just time to sheet it. Now I'm out of welding wire. So tomorrow I'm going to go get welding wire first thing in the morning. And then back to it. It won't take very long to sheet it. Get it all done. And then yeah. But you ever work on a project and you're really excited about the way it's turning out and so you just stare at it? Or is that just me? Because I'll just sit here and stare at this for a while. Making sure I did everything right and admiring my own work. It's exciting when something you've been wanting to do for a long time starts coming together in your head. Because I've wanted to do this for the last 2 years. I should have did it last winter. And then I wouldn't be here. But so be it. It's coming together though. Gonna be ready to race for Saturday. Alright, now that this structure is all done, it's time to sheet it. Here's some good news. And show you what I'm doing with that here in a second. This is the old quarter panel. I beat it back flat. It goes right back in place. Just about. It goes back into place good enough, is what I should say. So, yeah. I don't have to cut that out. That's nifty. Now this piece right here, I want to make a little wider, so it's really hard to get in the tire. Got me a piece of C-channel. I'm going to start with that right now. I want to layer this on this. So I'm going to grab my marker. Do the mark thing. It's kind of hard to do one-handed here. Oh, it's gonna be cut there. All right, I need help. Ugh. Back in a second. All right, I got help. Need you to hold it right there. Hold it up against here. Okay. Thank you.
Lost fun stuff.
What? Moving them tie rods?
Yeah. Getting car pins out.
Yeah. It's alright, I got this marked. I'm actually going to cut it like this. So it just fits over top of this. I'll cut this off straight, but I'm going to leave a little overhanging. I'm going to cut it here on this angle. I'm going to cut this one straight. So, got to make us an angle. Grab the nifty speed square and do that. Alright. Now, I just take my angle grinder, cut on all these marks, and it's ready to be well done. So I'll bring it back and show you when it's done. So alright, pieces all cut. Got this so it's nice overhang over top of this. See how she fits. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's a little kind of a big gap back here, but I think I can fix that. A little bit more of a gap right here than I would like, but that's fine. I'm gonna weld this to this. It's gonna be a little bit of a dirt catch, but it's gonna be strong, and that's what matters. Yeah, that's kind of a Gaposaurus Rex right there, but I'll make it work. That's for sure. I think I'm gonna tack it. This needs to be beat, or bent, I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna bend this so it matches that a little bit. All I gotta do is put a good tack right here and just smack it with a hammer, and I might beat this down, clean it up, we'll get it welded on, and then start on this. And after this is welded on, it's done. Speaking of which, I still gotta change the welding wire. Just remembered. Guess I'll do that now. Need to hammer this some. Where is the hammer? I was just using it. Oh. Right where I left it. Don't you just hate when you lose something and it turns out to be right where you left it? Because I have to get it just right. Well, however you want to hold it. Okay. So it seems like I got some big gaps going on, but what I'm gonna do is lay a nice weld there, and just beat up a hammer. Let's do it. Last part right here. Look at there. She's all done. Well, done good enough for tomorrow. Get you on the wide view so you can really see. Welded all the way around. Pretty much ready for paint. Good enough for tomorrow, really. I still want to do more, but I'm out of time. It's 9 o'clock the night before the race. Got to paint this. Got to fix a couple other spots. We'll touch it up the rest of the way in the morning. But yeah, I'm whooped. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below if you like this kind of stuff. I don't like to put up too many build videos, but if we're pretty much just heading that direction because winter's right around the corner. We got a lot of stuff to do. Next year is going to be even more epic. There's one more figure 8 race, or it's a bump and run. This is the last figure 8 race of the year till January when we go down to the Rebel Run down in Kentucky. So, yeah, I'm going to really send it hard in front of my hometown tomorrow. I'm excited about this race. I feel really good about it. So, yeah, that'll be the next episode. But if this is your first time watching, you want to see this car race, click this video right here. It's pretty epic. Always got to thank God, thank my girlfriend, and I'll see you next time.